National Racehorse Week, and John Blake is the Chief Executive of Racing to School, who've also been getting involved in the initiative, and John joins us right now. John, good morning to you.
Good morning, Martin. Great to see you again.
You too, and an exciting week this week. Just tell us how Racing to School's got involved with the campaign that's ongoing.
Well, yes. Well, it's great that we are involved, and it's been a culmination of so many people's efforts to get to this important week. Racing to School is, as some viewers may know, is the charity that educates young people with their school skills, but uses the background of racing to do so. And we've diverted 5 school groups this week away from the traditional racecourse setting to trainers' yards as very much part of National Racehorse Week. So things were kicked off yesterday thanks to the Kublers, Daniel and Claire Kubler. Many thanks to them. We had the local Lambourne Primary School invading them yesterday, and we've got 2 days in Scotland. So about an hour ago, the pupils of Hawick High School were at Ewan Williams' yard, which is interesting because he's an old boy of that school. So you may have seen some of his old teachers come along with the class today. We're staying in Scotland tomorrow with James Hewitt and Richard Phillips, who, of course, is, as viewers may know, is the sort of architect of this Great High initiative, National Racehorse Week. We're going there tomorrow to work with a local primary school to him. And then we finish off the week up at Tom Dascombe's, where Wood Memorial Primary, who went to Chester races with us last Friday, get this great double of going behind the scenes at Tom Dascombe's yard. And the point, of course, is just to immerse our young people in such a great setting of a racing yard, to learn what goes on in the yards, all the cooperation between the different roles in the yards, the great care, love and attention, and the priority of welfare that the horses get. And you're seeing footage now, of course, of the Kublers' yard. Yesterday, the children were out on the gallops, got to speak to the riders and the staff, still did their work, as you can see as well. You see our workbooks there, and Racing School is very much about children's education first, but using the unique assets of racing to really enhance that and immerse them in that. So we're delighted to be part of this wonderful week, and just a small part of what racing's doing to open its doors to so many people to see really what, as I said, the care, love and attention that horses get as welfare is prioritised.
John, I mean, the children can go racing, that's one thing, but that's a really unique insight to go behind the scenes of a racing stable and see exactly the day-to-day runnings.
Absolutely, and I'm fortunate enough. I'm going with the school tomorrow to Richard Phillips's yard, and I'm excited, maybe more so than they are, to see that. I mean, these are, these are workplaces, of course, important workplaces for the sport, but for the children to actually see all that goes on and what it takes to get horses fit and are looked after, and all the care and attention they get from the veterinary side to the feed side to the working on the gallops. And the way the staff work together as a team, which is a hard physical job, we all know that, but the way they produce these horses in such magnificent shape for racing and after racing as well, it's great for young people to see that. And it just puts together the jigsaw piece for them, and it's about the momentum then. We don't want that to be the end of the journey for Hawick High School today or Loughborough Primary School tomorrow. We want them to then go racing themselves and to watch it on TV and get a better appreciation of what goes on. So they'll understand a bit more about the central role the horse plays. But yeah, very, very exciting week for these young people, and it's great to be part of it.
I don't know if you got the chance to go to the Kublers yesterday, John, but if not, what was the sort of feedback from the children who went, and how engaged were they with the visit?
I wasn't there, but the feedback has been great. We had an email late yesterday from the school saying how much they really appreciated, so excited about it, that thank you letters are on the way from the children, which we always like to get, because, I can sit here and say lots of wonderful things about Racing to School, but the reality is that that's irrelevant. What matters is what the young people, what our beneficiaries think of it, what they get from it, the impact it will have, the memories they will have. It is not unusual for a child to say on a Racing to School day it was the best day of their life. Now, it probably wasn't in reality, but it's left an indelible, you hope it's not in some respects, but it's left an indelible mark on them, and racing has done that. And our job is to really just to open that door, really, to excite them, to teach them things, get them working as well. And that's the important thing, to get them still working and thinking and doing mental maths and working as a team and improving their literacy and vocabulary, all of which can be done through racing. Because of the rich history of our sport and the way, as I said, teamwork is so important. But yes, so the feedback's been brilliant. I'm sure Richard Phillips will be a brilliant host tomorrow. James Hewitt. So we've got the 2 days in Scotland running as well, and Tom Dascombe on Friday. And just a quick word, one of our trustees, Annalisa Balding, she's off her own bat, got 2 local schools to her yard at Kingsclear are coming along, invading her at 4 o'clock, I think, later this week for tea cakes and a proper look around as well. So there's plenty of trainers getting behind this. I've had a number of trainers actually contact me now and saying, look, anytime you want to bring children to us, to do so. I think it's really sparked an interest among trainers, helped by the work from GBR, of course, behind all this. And it has been a real collaboration, a much used word, but I think in this case it really has been. But the key is the momentum after this, is to make sure we don't just end that conversation with young people or any people who are interested in racing may go to the Henry Cecil weekend at Newmarket, which put a bookend this week, is that we keep them interested and excited about the sport.
And notwithstanding, John, that maybe to say it's the best day of their lives might be an exaggeration, but it must be hugely rewarding for you and your colleagues to see young people engaging with racing and just seeing how much they can get out of it.
Well, I think that's right. I mean, for many of them, of course, the racecourse is somewhere maybe they just drove past. It might be within 20, 30 minutes of their school, but it might just feel a bit like a foreign field to them. And what we're trying to do is and the racecourses are brilliant at this as well, of course, is just making it as much a relevant place for them as it is for, maybe young people who are born in the countryside and see horses every day. And that's really important, that the racecourse is as much a part of their lives, or should be, as the bowling alley, the amusement arcade, the football stadium, whatever it is. It should be coexist with that. And I think that is the rewarding side of it, is that it's very rare that a young person comes on a race at a school day and says, no interest in coming again. I've never heard it in my 5 or 6 years. And it's important that we make that very easy for them to do so. And the older ones, of course, we've got a mix of high school and primary children coming this week to our days. The older ones who show some interest on the career side, is that then we make that as easy as possible, that they see when we work with the Scottish Racing Academy today, that they have opportunities up there, or the British Racing School, National Horse Racing College. They work with the team of Careers in Racing at the BHA. All those things are kind of connected up, that gives young people the next opportunity, the next chance to maybe get involved. And who knows, in 10 years' time they may be hosting a school group talking about their journey into the sport. And that's hugely rewarding. A lot of our staff, as you know, are former jockeys themselves, and they've sort of come full circle in some respects. So it's great, but it really is, it's about what the young people get from this, and the charity showing it's great thanks to everybody, and hoping we show value for the support we get from across the sport.
And John, what's the connect, say, between a trainer's yard or a racecourse visit and the school? Say if I'm head teacher at Bedale Primary, do you speak to the school, do you approach them, or do they come to you and say, we'd like to get involved with what you're doing?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I mean, we are, I guess we're lucky that we have what I'd call repeat business, to be sort of blunt about it, I suppose. That we get a lot of schools who we've worked with for many, many years, which is great, because, we like that continuity. But every day, including just again this morning, an email came through saying, we know you do these wonderful days, could we go on them? So we have a bit of a waiting list in that regard. We don't necessarily advertise our days, because we are pretty much full up. I mean, we will do this year probably just slightly less than 250 days because of COVID, but in 2019 we did almost over 370 days, and that was 15,500 young people. So it is open to everyone, all schools right across the country. And so people come onto the website and email us directly. So we try to match schools with racecourses or trainers' yards. And it's a nice problem to have, of course. I don't like having a waiting list, but it's good that we have that interest, both from the schools that have been before and some new ones as well. Teachers often follow us around when they move school. We often get them saying, well, I brought St. Joseph's, can I bring this academy I'm now working for? And that's great as well, because you're pushing an open door in some respects if you've got the teachers on side. So there are many routes into us, and we work with all the race courses who are very, very supportive, and we couldn't do the work without them. And it is that sort of collaborative effort that allows us to give the best experience to young people. And remember, it's probably their first experience, so you've got one shot at this, really. And it's really important we get that right, and continue to keep the quality very high, both for the teachers, tutors, and the pupils.
Well, a great initiative to take it into National Racehorse Week, and I'm sure you'll have a very enjoyable day with Richard Phillips tomorrow.
Yes, no, I'm looking forward to it. I told him I'll be having a look at his drinks cabinet. He hasn't responded.
John, we'll have a great day. Many thanks for joining us, and good luck going forward with Racing to School.
Thanks so much, Martin.
It's all part of National Racehorse Week. That